What's going on, guys? It's your boy Elite Zephyr, aka DragoniteMike, and I am back here with another draft analysis. I wanted to announce that PMDL got canceled. So I finished 2-1 in that league. I won my first week, lost my second, won my third. I had those battles recorded. Well, the first week and the third week I had recorded. So those might find their way to your sub boxes pretty soon. Eventually, I kind of fell out of the habit of recording just because I started working a new job. It's been taking up a lot of my time. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing a lot of my time with. But we're back for UTL Season 3. I'm running back the Dallas Dragonites. And so this is going to be my draft analysis for UTL Season 3 for the Dallas Dragonites. So in OU, I had the first pick, so obviously I had to take Tapu Koko. I could have taken any Mon, literally any Mon, and I said, I'm taking Koko. And so that was for two reasons. One, because Koko is just a really good Mon, as it is. And two, was because my buddy Dustafish, the coach of the Mucha Haluchas, is also in this league, and I said I'm not letting him draft Coco Lucha again, because he had it last season, he had it in PMDL, and I'm like, I'm not letting him have it in UTL again. So I got Coco round 1, and then I had the wheel pick for round 2 and round 3, and so I went Mega Gallade and Salamence. Now, if you saw Week 1 against Dustafish from PMDL, or if you watch the Week 3 video that I post eventually, I should, you'll see that Mega Gallade is just an absolute monster. 4 KOs in Week 1, 5 KOs Week 2, or Week 3, and I think he had a KO Week 2 also, which I ended up losing. So 10 kills in 3 weeks was pretty good. So, and I just am aiming to build my teams around Mega Gallade. If I see a team that I'm just like, I just can't bring Mega Gallade to this battle, I won't. But for the most part, Mega Gallade's going to be like the core of my offense when I see the opportunity to set up and sweep with Mega Gallade against a team. I'm going to take it because I think it's base 115 speed? Yeah, base 110 speed. There's not a whole lot of Mons out there in that speed tier. There's a handful I can name off the top of my head. Mega Pidgeot, Mega Manectric. Mega Manectric's like in a speed tier of its own, up there with Mega Aerodactyl, Azelf. But base 110's a really good speed tier to be in. Because barring Bizarre Scarf Mons, max speed Mega Gallade's gonna outspeed a lot of things. And then my last draft pick, as I said, was Salamence, and I was like, all right, I need a good hard-hitting Z user, and I mean my mascot's Dragonite, and so I legitimately thought about drafting Dragonite in that third slot. But then I'm like, but then that means I have to make Coco my Z user because I'd rather put a band or a weakness policy on Dragonite rather than have it have a Z move on it. So I went with my gut and drafted Salamence, and I don't really regret it because I also really love Salamence. Salamence is a super, super dangerous dragon type. Base 100 speed over Dragonite's base 80 speed, and I believe, yeah, base 135 attack versus Dragonite's base 134 attack, if I recall correctly. It's sad that I don't know my mascot's stats off the top of my head. Regardless, yeah, Salamence, and so Salamence is my OU Z user, and so that gives me, the opportunity to go for sets like Dragon Dance with Supersonic Sky Strike, and I have a whole lot of options with Salamence, and it just kind of rounds out my OU picks really, really well. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I got a call from my boss, so I had to handle that business really quick. Yeah, Salamis just gives me a lot of good diversity for the team. I could very well run it mixed or run it wholly special. That actually, it's not a well-known set, but it's certainly something that could work. I've done, I know it works well in Ubers, but that's also because Mega Salamence has a higher base special attack. But whatever. Moving on to my UU picks. I don't exactly remember where I was in the UU draft. Like what my pick placement was. I think I was like 8th. I was somewhere near like the bottom third of the draft here, but I still managed to get 3 really good Pokemon, 3 solid mons for this team that I needed. So first off came Empoleon, good Water Steel type, great Rock Setter, great Hazard Clearer. Just overall a great defensive mon to have for my team, because up until this point I had only picked offensive mons. I didn't take anything defensive in OU. So I was like, alright, I need to take something strong on the defensive side for my first pick in UU, and I took Empoleon, and so I'm really happy with that. My second pick was Nidoking. I wanted a backup Rock Setter just in case, and then Nidoking is a really good late game sweeper if you can get rid of like some of the threats that are in like the higher speed tiers than it. Choice Scarf, Nidoking with Sheer Force can just break through teams. It can also like break through really solid cores with the right move placement and stuff like that. I personally never really got behind the Scarf set. I always liked running the Life Orb instead. I sacrificed the extra speed for the extra power and the ability to switch up moves as I needed. But I can see myself running the Scarf set just in case I need it, and I need a mon that can just go fast and punch holes. And speaking of punching holes, my third pick was Entei. I needed a fire type. Rotom Heat had already been taken, Darmanitan and Infernape had also already been taken. I considered drafting Blaziken, but then I said, you know, I don't need another fighting type. I have Mega Gallade. If I need a fighting type to do anything, it'll be Mega Gallade and not Blaziken. And so I took Entei. Entei's a very linear mon, so a lot of people, when I took it, said, you know, that's going to be not as advantageous to your team as the rest of them are. But if you ask me, I think Entei is really the only linear mon that I drafted, except maybe for Tapu Koko. And even then, Tapu Koko can run physical or special sets. So it's possible. And if I wanted to, I could run the defensive set on Entei that Nappy used in the UCL Season 3. I'd have to go back and find the video that he used it on, or like and find the spread that he used, but I could always incorporate that into my stratagems. Slipping down into RU now, I needed to finish out my my Fire Water Grass Core for in RU, and so I took Shaman at first, and I was just like, all right, I wanted a Pixie on my team, something that I can do just about anything with, and Shaman fits that bill, and it's a grass type, so I can run a sweeper set with it. I can run a especially defensive set. I could run a Tailwind Healing Wish set, which I used in Season 1 of UTL to try and sweep with my Azelf against the Miami Magnemites, which did not end up working, which really upset me. But regardless, Shaman can fill a variety of roles that I felt like I needed to have filled in my team, and it does what it needs to do. Then I picked up Porygon 2, and I was just like, why has nobody picked this mon yet? Because Porygon 2 is like Porygon 2 is like... I'm probably going to get flamed for saying this, but Porygon 2 is like Discount Lugia, in my opinion. It just doesn't die. It has access to reliable recovery. Eviolite makes it super bulky. It can pass statuses. Tri-Attack has a 10% chance to burn, freeze, or paralyze. It gets access to Toxic, Thunder Wave. It's just a really, overall, it's a really great support mon, and having this under my belt is really good. It was a really good mon to pick up after picking up Shaman. My last pick for RU and then kind of my entire NU pick were all kind of... They were kind of dicey. I was kind of just power picking at that point. I felt like I had all of the types that I needed covered, and the... Or at least like the types that I needed to cover. There weren't a whole lot of good mons in these tiers, or at least that I wanted to pick. So my last pick for RU was Virizion, and again, Virizion's one of those mons where I'm just like, why was this mon specifically available to me the 3rd round of RU? Like, this mon is super good. You can run it so many different ways. It's in a decent speed tier. It has good bulk. It has at least decent survivability. You could run an Assault Vest on it because it gets access to Giga Drain, and then moves like Focus Blast, Hidden Powers, stuff like that. You could run a Calm Mindset, also with Giga Drain and Focus Blast. You could run an SD set because Sacred Sword's a physical move for some reason. I don't really understand that, but, you know, whatever. Leaf Blade, Sacred Sword, what have you. It gives me a good advantage over Dark types and mons that might want to spam knockoff, because Gallade takes knockoff neutrally, and Virizion resists it and gets an attack boost from Justified. So I imagine if I see a team where I'm just like, alright, knockoff galore, I'm going to bring Virizion with me and say, here's Virizion, go ahead, give me an attack buff, and watch me kill you, and watch me sweep through your team with it. I'm not regretting having picked up Virizion, but at the same time, in the Miami Mimikyu's Power Rankings video, he did go out of his way to point out that I did pick up 3 grass types, and my 3rd is just a little ways down the list here. And it's just kind of... It's kind of rough, because it gives me a huge Fire-type weakness, even though I have a decent number of Fire-type resists. But Virizion's still a really good mon, and like I said, down towards the bottom I was just kind of power picking. I needed mons to fill certain roles, and so I just kind of drafted as I saw fit. Next is Chinchino. I would rather have Chinchino have been Ambipom, but Ambipom was taken literally the pick before me in NU, and I was, oh my god, I was mad. But I was like, I saw Ambipom, and I'm like, alright, I need Ambipom, but I'm like, but I also need a mon for backup for Ambipom, in case it gets picked. And so I'm thinking about it. I'm like, alright, what's the utility that I use Ambipom for? Ambipom's utility is knockoff, turn. It helps fill out turn cores. It has access to the elemental punches. It has good priority with presence with Fake Out. And so I was like, alright, what mon has at least the knockoff and the turn, the knockoff pressure and the U-turn presence? And I was like, Chinchino. I know Chinchino doesn't get the elemental punches, but I don't actually know if Chinchino gets like Fake Out or anything like Ambipom does. I'll have to look into that. Actually, hold on, I can do it right now. Fake Out. Nope, no Fake Out. Oh well. But yeah, so Chinchino, it's another normal type, so it gives me another weakness to fighting, but again, I have a lot of fighting type resists on my team between like Tapu Koko, Mega Gallade, Nidoking, all of my grass types. So, you know, it's not a huge deal having I have like the top half of my draft resists fighting to for the most part, and then the bottom half of my draft, like the bottom third of my draft is like weak to fighting because Ducky, the P2, Chinchino, and Rhydon are all weak to fighting types. But I also drafted 3 grass types that naturally resist fighting anyway. So yeah, next is Rhydon. I needed another mon that could fill a defensive role, a physically defensive role, and I wanted a third backup stealth rocker just because. And again, like I said, I was power picking at this point, and a couple of my other picks had been taken from me, and so I was like, alright, I'm just going to take Rhydon and run with it. And then the same kind of goes for Whimsicott. I don't exactly remember what I had my eye on prior to Whimsicott, but then it got picked, and so I was like, alright, I'm going to go with Whimsicott then. Yeah, Whimsicott is a prankster mon. It has decent bulk. It's in a good speed tier. It's a good support mon overall. But I don't really know how much I'm going to use it outside of, like, niche uses, because it kind of fills the same role that Shaman does, but Shaman has better stats, so it kind of does it better. So I don't know how long Whimsicott will be on the team. I don't know how long, and I honestly don't know what I would pick up in its place. So, but yeah, that is the draft of the season 3 of the Dallas Dragonites. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Keep an eye out for UTL videos coming out. I'm gonna do my best to religiously stick with and record these battles. I want to make sure that I get all of these battles in for you, because I know a lot of people actually really like my commentary. Not that I really understand why, because when I go back and watch these videos myself, I'm just like, oh my god, I cannot commentate worth a damn. But yeah, I'm rambling now, so have a good night, guys.